I'm on mute.
Just when we
Again?
thought it was figured.
That's why I thought I figured everything. You see, Screwball keeps me in line. That's what I was saying when I was going with my lips and you guys couldn't hear me. I was saying that Screwball was keeping me in line on the computer side. Because I obviously need it. Because I'm an idiot. That's a little button right there you're supposed to press and that to turn the microphone on. But I didn't do it because Skype wanted to mess with me and my head is now... Let's start over again. Hey, welcome everybody here to the fabulous West Coast. San Jose, California. It's another beautifully hot day here on the West Coast. And we set up a beautiful, beautiful show for you all day long. We got Screwballs in the house. We got a new EQI later on in the evening. But right now, I want to bring to you a gentleman who has the longest stretch between times on this program. The last time we saw this gentleman was on episode 17. That's right, 17. We're at like 106 now. So I would like to bring to the program one, Mr. Lee Tockar.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, my buddy. How you doing?
Good,
Awesome.
my friend.
Yes.
I haven't seen you, it seems like only weeks ago, at Everfree Northwest.
Yes. 2 weeks ago at Everfree Northwest, we got back together. And
it was really nice to see everybody over there. And hello, every pony out there in the Ethernet.
Yes, absolutely. It's great to have you here.
It's great to be here. It's great to be here.
Script back up here and everything because I had to reboot my computer. Everything got set up, and now it's all like unset down. Let's give me a second here. Okay, done.
Standing by.
Standing by. So, Lee, it's so wonderful to talk to you again.
I know, buddy. It was so great to see you, and it's so great to be back on the show. Yes. I mean, my characters, obviously my characters don't appear as often as the rest, and so, there's, no need to, have me on all the time, but it really is nice to be any time that I get a chance to talk to you guys. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic, yes.
It's fabulous.
It's fabulous.
And, and especially after the 100th episode.
Oh, we're going to talk a lot about that. But we have a new first thing that we do on this show that you aren't privy to. Everybody who comes on the show gets this question. Everybody, the first question.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I had to study?
No.
I didn't want to study.
You don't have to study.
Okay.
Easy. What?
The answer is 42.
42, yes. What are some of the cartoons and comics you watched as a kid or are still watching to this day?
I, as everybody knows, a Mel Blanc fanatic.
Oh, yes.
So, Bugs Bunny and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up there, Doc?
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's not much of a stretch between Bugs Bunny and Snips, you know? So, it's my homage. Bugs Bunny, and I used to watch that all the time. And I used to love The Muppet Show.
Oh,
I loved Jim Henson. I still love Jim Henson to this day. And Frank Oz, the voice of anything that's voice centric and stuff like that. I am only, let's see, I've got my list right here. Hang on, listen. 7 comic books away from collecting the entire first run of Conan the Barbarian.
What?
Yeah,
Savage Sword of Conan?
Yeah, the very first ones.
The Savage Sword.
Yeah, Savage Sword of Conan. And I have 1 to 25 are mint, like absolutely mint in the Mylar.
That's some money right there.
It's costing me a little bit of money, yeah. But I spend a lot of my time being a nerd and doing nerd things.
I wish I could show you my comic collection because I've got 8 half boxes of nothing but comics.
Yeah, I've got four of the extra length boxes, like the actual show boxes.
The show boxes? Nice.
Yeah, the ones that the comic book stores have. Nice. So I have 8 of those, and I collect Avengers and Old Bugs Bunny and Warner Brothers and Conan and
I'll have to send you a care package because I've got I got a couple of old Bugs Bunnies and a Heckle and Jekyll and
sweet action.
Some older ones, yeah. I got some old stuff in my boxes.
Oh, that's cool. Yes,
I'll send you a care package.
Take all those.
Question 2. What's been going on for you since we haven't seen you for 2 years? What's your acting career been doing? Bring us up to speed.
It's been unbelievable. I've been in, of course, Slugterra is still going. Yep, where I play Pronto the Magnificent. Yes, and I'm doing that, and we're still. Johnny Test is threatening to come back for season 7, where I play Bling Bling Boy, which is the General,
up here
and still doing that. And now Scott Fellows, who created that series, also is doing a new series called Super Noobs, and we're working on. We're going to be starting, I think, season 2 of that, and I play a character called the Roach. Nerdcore, of course, keeps me employed all the time.
Yes.
And Kate and Mim Mim is a fantastic new show. And I play Mim Mim, a 9-foot-tall bunny that's best friends to little Kate, played by Marika Hendricks.
Nice. Little sis.
And, she spins me around, and we transport ourselves into the land of Mimoloo. Nice. And I stop being her little tiny bunny bear, and I become this huge, like a great 9-foot-tall bunny, which was vaguely reminiscent of Harvey, of course, with Jimmy Stewart, who pretended he thought that he saw this puka, which was a 9-foot-tall bunny. Anyway, so there's that, and Netflix has employed me for the new King Kong series, and I'm playing King Kong.
Really?
So I'm doing a lot of monkey sounds.
Nice.
And there's a couple other things that I'm not supposed to talk about, so I shouldn't.
We won't talk about that. NDA.
Yep.
We won't get nobody in trouble on the show.
No, nobody in trouble. But I am working constantly. Like there's really just
plus you're still teaching.
Plus, I'm still teaching, and Michael Dangerfield from On the Mic Training has asked me to do a level 2 class where we give all the people that already have taken the level 1 class and sort of giving them the audition process and then doing a full cast read of a show.
That is awesome.
This Wednesday, we're doing a full cast recording, not for broadcast, of an MLP script.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I wish I lived in Vancouver. I'd be up in this stuff.
You know, right?
I would be up in this stuff like that.
Screwball does live in Vancouver, and I've been trying to, and he's been a great assistant to me.
Awesome.
And Screwball, thank you again for all of your hard work and efforts. It's been
no problem. I'm so glad that I get to work with you. It's so much fun. It always is fun.
Always fun.
Why don't you tell everybody some of the things that you? Well, you don't tell everything, but
like,
I mean, because a lot of it's boring. A lot of it's like, hey, can you go to the grocery store and get me this and that? But I'm just getting him to do like organizing, basically organizing my life. So that
we've been doing a lot of like cleaning because you're gonna be doing renovations on your basically living set area, like right at the entrance. And oh my goodness, there's so much transition change to it already. It looks so roomy and nice. I cannot wait to see it
Well,
finished.
I couldn't have done it without you, my friend. You've been,
thank you.
You've been absolutely I couldn't thank you enough.
He's like a project manager.
He's more than that. He's been great. He's been great.
Awesome.
And I'm teaching him how to organize receipts and budgets and things. And he's a quick study, boy. I tell you.
He's a smart man.
He's a smart
Screwball's
man.
a smart guy.
He is.
Stop it, guy.
He is. Smart guy. Speaking of smart guys, how cool was it to bring back the iconic Stephen Magnet?
It was fabulous.
Any story? Oh my God! Any stories about in the studio of recording him like this the first time you did it?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's heard.
We've heard that one, but any news stories about doing on him the second time?
No, it was just really. It was for me as a performer, as an actor. Now that once I knew that he had become so iconic, it was. I kind of felt a little bit of pressure, honestly, like just to keep him on that level of cool and and walking that fine line between fabulous and cool and doing both of those things and trying to make sure that the fans of the show and the people that liked him so much weren't going to be let down by anything that I might be doing wrong. So I did feel a little twinge of like nervousness because I want him to still stay fabulous.
Oh, he was quite fabulous. Yeah. We had talked, and I knew he was coming back. Right, it's one of those things I couldn't talk about. But I knew he was coming back, but the thing in my mind was, where the heck in Ponyville was he going to be? He's a sea serpent, for crying out loud.
Well, I told Megan McCarthy a long time ago, I said, Gino, what would be great is if we could get him out of the lake.
Right.
And into like a pond, or he could pop up in like sinks or in like hot tubs or in like fountains in the middle of Ponyville.
Yeah.
And I guess she took it to heart. I guess she.
There he was in the spa talking with her.
And it was fantastic. And now I think you recalled the conversation that we had about you asked what he would be, and you said a renegade. I said a renegade hairstylist.
No, it was esthetician. Esthetician adventurers. That's it. Esthetician adventurers.
That's right. That's right. And I can't believe that it was at Everfree just a couple weeks ago that you reminded me of that.
Yeah, esthetician. And the thing is, that's exactly what he turned out to be.
Exactly.
He's out adventuring with Cranky, right? And he's
loved it.
Oh, how art imitates life. How the heck did that even happen? I don't know.
I don't know. But you know what? I can honestly say
it was crazy.
I'm happy it did.
I'm happy it did too. It's like as soon as he said he was off having adventures with Cranky, I went, wait a minute. And I went back and watched that interview I did with you guys, and I went, no.
Yep. And you know what? Today was the first time that I woke up this morning early, and I watched because Amy Rainey from Australia. Yeah. She sent me the link for it because we don't get it. I don't get it here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't have it on my channels. So she sent me the link and I watched it, and it was great. It was so fun. Oh my God,
it was so fun. Episode 100 was so much fun.
It really was, and just to be a part of such a landmark episode.
Yeah, I mean, you've been in the industry forever. I'm sure you've been on a number of shows, but how many of them actually hit episode 100?
Many. Exactly. Not many. And it's so, it's a very humbling experience to be with the main six and with all the rest of the cast because I'm not a main character. I'm just one of the smaller little ancillary characters, but to have a show dedicated to all the extra background players and to sort of say, hey, it doesn't matter if you're part of like a big player, even the small players mean something. And that was so cool to be part of that as the sort of notion of the show. Yeah. It was really cool. It was cool.
Absolutely. Speaking of small players, the smallest would be Gummy.
Oh my God!
I always thought that little stinker had something bigger going on in his head behind those beady eyes. I really did.
And they let me play it like my own voice. It was like,
well, the thing was, you know what I heard? I heard Lee Tockar with just a twinge of Ripster, just a twinge.
Yeah,
a twinge.
What is a cutie mark?
What is a cutie mark? Yeah.
Flank, ever a blank.
That was hilarious. Oh my God!
And they let me do it more like me. I mean, like to me, the two characters in one show that I got to play, like one super existential and a little bit dark, like brooding a little bit, and the other one so fabulous. Yeah. I mean, it's the whole gamut of emotion and that I got to play both. And I hope that I really hope that the existential Gummy gets to come back, because I think he'd be a great foil for any
for Pinkie.
situation.
Could you imagine Gummy playing off a Pinkie?
Oh
and Pinkie
my
can
gosh.
actually understand him.
Yeah,
right?
right?
Wouldn't that be funny?
It'll
All of a sudden
be
she's off doing
hilarious.
something, and he just says Pinkie.
Okay, well let's
No.
get the Twitter feed
Let's get the Twitter feed going. Let's get the buzz going. Megan, we need more Gummy. More existential Gummy.
Megan, darling, sweetie.
darling,
And Megan, by the way, you look lovely today.
Yes. By the way, Megan, congratulations. Congratulations on taking over all female content at the Hub. All of it. All the shows.
Yeah.
That's oh my God.
Super
Congratulations.
excited.
Which means I'll never get to talk to you again, but you know what? I love you anyway.
No, do you know what I love about Megan is that she's so very approachable and so human. I love her so much.
She's awesome.
Yep, she truly is.
Now the thing about Gummy.
Yeah.
Did you actually perform it as written, or did you actually tweak it a bit?
I tweaked it a little bit, but I mean the writing is already so good. But the thing that changed was that Terry Klassen, the director, wanted to know what it would sound like as an existential Frenchman, and he wanted it to sound French. And we tried that as what is a cutie mark? What is, and what is life? And we played that for a while, and then I said, and then I went back later and said, actually, it seems a bit kind of like, can I make it sound more like me, just because I wanted it to play more real.
Yeah.
And they let me, and it was a sort of a decision that Terry and I both had.
Yeah,
and
actually playing it more real gave it more depth.
Yeah.
And more meaning, actually. Because if you played it with that funny voice, I don't think it would have meant as much.
No, but he was truly existential. And which is, growing up, when I was in high school, I went through a very dark existential period. So it was kind of funny that I would be an existential character. I went through a period where, okay, well, just full disclosure, I thought that we were all viruses on the planet, and we were all just like, and what was life and all this stuff. And I went through all the different things that people of that age kind of go through. It was like figuring out themselves and all that. But then I started reading Descartes, I think, therefore I am, and stuff like that. And so I come from that very honestly, and I got out of the dark existentialism into the lighter stuff, and this was a nice medium. And so it was funny because as I was playing him, I was like, I've thought these thoughts.
Well, that's cool. It's really cool when you can dip into some of your own history to play a part, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I read way too much. So, I mean, the dark existentialists all read into the light existentials. And, and I studied philosophy for many years. And so this was all really cool. And when I was listening to it this morning, I'm like, and knowing the fandom and now knowing a little bit about the content of the show, looking back on all the episodes, it's a very different kind of character than has ever been in the show before because he's so... like real. It's very real thoughts, and
love to have him back.
Oh well, me too, Megan.
It'd be great to have like Gummy going through town and having these thoughts as ponies go around about. It's just all Gummy's thoughts, right? For
I love it.
20 minutes about ponies around
just
him.
have him like sitting and leaning out of the window and watching
the ponies go back,
flashing back to him.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
It would be fun.
Now that, of course, you said you've seen the episode now, and normally you guys don't go back and watch your own stuff because you're moving on and doing more stuff, and it's been a year or so since you've done it. So now that they've put all of those contents back together in a ball, and you've seen it from beginning to end, what did you think about episode 100? What's your thoughts?
I really liked it. I know that it's a very easy sort of wrap to put a wedding scenario into like getting everybody together, but the way it was done did not seem trite or obvious. And by the way, Richard Newman, the husband, the groom, he's a wonderful guy. To know him as a person, I've worked with Richard for years and years and years, and it was great to work with him again. But I just loved it. It seemed very sweet. And again, the fact that I got to play Stephen Magnet again, and I was in a salon, and he's an openly fabulous character, and it doesn't seem to, nobody bats an eye, and it's just wonderful. It was great.
It's great that they brought Cranky back, right?
Yeah.
And actually continued that storyline, and to give us this wonderful episode. You know, especially with Peter New playing, you know, half David Tennant, half Baker. You know?
Like, Dr. Hoobs. Dr. Hoob.
I never ever in a million years thought they'd go there. I never thought in a million years they'd do that. I thought they were going to be too afraid of the BBC. I really did.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, I don't know. I'd put Hasbro up against the BBC any day.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think both of them are all lawyered up, and I think they just end up going out for lunch sometime and just saying, "Okay, I got this. If you got this, it's all fine."
I think it's pretty cool.
It was great. It was a great episode, very sweet, and everybody, of course, was so wonderful. And Derpy.
Oh, they played her right this time. She had the right voice. She had the right, you know, the right lines, the right personality for that character, right?
And there's that one moment where she's, I can't remember what Tabitha said, but she made some comment, and then her eyes opened up really wide, and then her pupils got really small, and they went boink. It was so cute. I was like, oh my god, it's so cute.
Yep. And the way that they all tied it together. Oh, and then the dude, right? The dude.
Oh yeah, Michael Dobson.
Michael Dobson plays the dude.
He was the bowler. Yeah, he was playing the dude. And they designed his own clothing.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
So funny.
So funny.
If you've ever seen The Big Lebowski,
I have.
That whole scene is just hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end, right, when they're sitting in the wedding, Walter's holding a can.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
He is. Walter's holding a can. And it looks like a Folgers can.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Was it really?
Yes, it looks like a Folgers, but it's hidden. It's hidden behind. You see this little chunk of it, and you see it behind two folds. He's sitting there holding this can with a half smile on his face, and if you've seen the movie, you're just laughing your butt off. It's like, oh my god, that was hilarious.
Super funny. Well, I think that's probably like Jason Thiessen is. He's very. He references things. He's a really good show director. Like he's really, really good, and he's getting to know him more and more over the last little while. I really didn't really know him that well up until, like, I've seen him at different shows. I've worked on many shows with him, but you know, I'm there to do my job, and I don't really want to go into the sound room and start shaking hands and being all sycophantic and like, oh, thank you for the show and being on it and everything. So I've just kind of always I try to be very cool, but he's always stuck out in my mind as being somebody that's quite swift and very smart and very slick.
Him and Jim Miller are both sharp as tacks. I mean, going out and having lunch with them when I was in Vancouver was just a pleasure.
When we were out at Everfree, having both of them and myself and my convention agent Sherry Fowler and John Delancey sitting there all together in the pub, or well, not the pub, but in the hotel the pub area or hotel bar restaurant area on the couches, and just listening to their side of the production of the show. Yeah. Super cool, like just a whole. And John Delancey, of course, he is consummate. At Discord, he's just a consummate professional, and I think he's just so used to doing these interviews and having people ask him questions. I just was sitting next to him, and by the way, I have a bit of a bromance with John Delancey now. So, he and I feel exactly the same way. Like, you must be this smart to take this ride, and we won't talk to a lot of people in depth about our own lives, if it's just surface stuff. Right. But we can, because Sherry introduced us, and she's a teacher, and we're all very well read. But listening to John talk to them, ask them questions, like Jason Thiessen and Jim and all these guys, and like those guys, and it's like he was interviewing them, and it was great. I just sat there next to him, just listening, and that John's been just all day long. He's been answering questions, and to sit down and have the pressure off me, and because I'm just there with John, they don't want to talk to me. And I know Jason, but listening to Jason's side of it, being asked questions by John Delancey, Discord, and of course my favorite Q, because I'm a Trekkie. It was just fantastic, and Jason, hearing his side of the production and how he came into it, it was just fascinating. And the more that I get to know Jason and Jim, the more I can understand why the show is such a success, because they care. They're in depth. They do the research, and they know. Like they actually investigate the forums as well. Like they know what the fans are doing as well, and that is so important.
Yeah, that's cool. I agree with you on John, because I sat down. I hadn't seen John since Las Pegasus Unicon way back, and he had taken a sailing trip and some stuff.
Yeah,
and I just sat down and said hello, because I hadn't seen him in a while, and I for 10 minutes I said, okay, I won't bug you anymore. I said, no, sit down. And he's interviewing me. I was like, how have you been? What have you been up to? So he was very, very talking.
I wonder if he does it just to deflect, maybe, because
I don't know.
It's easier if he can control the conversation. Maybe. I don't know, but either way, he makes everything seem so effortless.
So effortless, so nice. Have you ever been? Okay. I know you've been in thousands almost of shows.
It's almost 7,000.
Almost 7,000 shows. Thousands of shows. That's why I said
actually
thousands.
like
I didn't know that specific number, so it's thousands of shows. Is there any other show that has done this type of episode, which is, as Big Jim Miller put it, a love letter to the fandom?
That's a very good question. I don't believe so. I don't think so. I think this was kind of an anomaly, if you will. I think this was definitely something that was for the fans. It was from the creators to the fans, and that doesn't happen very often. A lot of it was self-referential. A lot of it was, like callback scenarios, calling back characters. No, I don't. Off the top of my head, my friend, I do not think that.
It's weird that they could do that and keep it within the storyline of the show. It's like
in the parameters.
They can do that. That's some brilliance right there between writers and artists and voice actors, that you can do that.
Absolutely.
Let's chat about how we, as fans, can get in on this fun of making cartoons. Bring us up to speed on fan build. What's going on?
Well, we're a couple weeks away from launching our next incarnation. It's going to look a lot more like Netflix, and it's going to be a lot more user-friendly. We've taken it from... first of all, I'm going to say a bunch of words out of my mouth hole right now that I wouldn't have known, terminologies that I wouldn't have known 2 years ago, but my staff and my people have brought me up to speed, and now I know a little bit about it. So our old platform was called Drupal.
Okay.
And no, Dolphin. And now we're migrating to Drupal because it's more accessible. And Corey Manuel is our CEO, seated CEO, and he was the one who was helped out with organizing Canterlot. So he is. We have David Calderon and Ivan Aguilera, these wonderful, these great animators that work in Maya. That Fanbuilt has sponsored. Well, not Ivan, but David and another guy named Paco, and I don't know his last name, but we're sponsoring them to come here. We're already sponsoring David, and it's Animagic out of Mexico. So we're working on making a show that delves and pulls up resources of our artists from our website. So we are doing amazing things, and we're only a couple weeks away from relaunching, and we had a great thing. And I want to thank Pony Toast for helping out with the thing that we had at Everfree Northwest. We had a great panel, and we showed some of the animation, what's called a production wrap. It's kind of like the beginning of a show. It looks a little bit like Entertainment Tonight meets steampunk.
Right.
So we have 7 sections. A couple of them are like Convention Connection, Nerd Alerts, epic interviews. I have interviews with Connie Zachary.
Okay, yeah.
Bonnie
Zachary.
Bonnie Zachary, who was who was actually the originator. She created My Pretty Pony back in the 70s, 80s. I had a great interview with her. It was so wonderful. So that's gonna be one of our first epic interviews, and then we have Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh. He's going to be doing that as well.
Nice.
And so we have all these sections, and another one's going to be called Random Fandom, another section in this 11-minute podcast. So not podcast. It'll be a webcast series.
Yes.
So yeah, we've got all these sections, and the website is looking fantastic. Cool. Our dev server, its development server, looks amazing. So we're going to be flipping the switch on that in a couple weeks, and then all of everybody's profiles are going to be all there, except it's going to look like whoa!
Nice.
You'll have your own, basically your own website page that you can promote and show the world all the stuff.
Awesome.
And then there'll be little posters for all of your projects that you can see the via.
Cool. I'll have to go back and fix mine up, because I know I have one there somewhere. It's been a while. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it myself, because anywhere I can do more awesome stuff is cool. You know, I want to get back into it. Let's see, what else?
Wait.
Did we lose him?
Yeah, we've just lost him. Don't worry, this is a problem that we've had in the past.
Get him back,
when I was
Screwy.
with him. He'll be back.
Okay.
There we go. Wait, no, I see.
I'm here.
There we go.
Did I
I dropped
drop
you for a few seconds, but you're okay.
Oh, okay. So the website, long answer, whatever I just said. Short answer, it's going great. Website is basically ready to come off the dev server and go live. And the show that we've been in production with for the last 2, 3, 4 years, trying to make it look perfect, is ready to launch as well.
Cool.
So there you go.
Here's that sweet picture of you sitting on mine and Poninnahka's lap at Everything Northwest.
I love that picture. So I'm not seeing the picture.
Yeah, that's okay. You know which one it is.
Yeah, I know which one it is. Yeah.
It's cool.
Silly.
So silly. Okay, next question. Grim Possession of Chesterfield Couch.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going very well. Well, the first movie is finished. Okay, here, again, full disclosure, it was a very long movie. It was 180 pages, and that is way too long unless you're Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come in at about 120 pages, no longer than that if you're a first-time writer. So I cut it in half and dovetailed the end and made it a proper ending, and then I started the second movie, and I just created the beginning. I found a nice, natural place for it to end. The first movie I have given to Chris Chesser, who's one of my mentors, who's doing the new Monty Python film that's coming out this summer with all the cast.
Yeah.
And if you guys look for that, it's all the Monty Python cast, and it's like a sci-fi comedy. It looks amazing. So Chris, he's been sort of helping me for years now. So he has a copy of the first script and wants to help, but of course he's so busy with the Monty Python thing. I think that he's going to be a little busy for
a little while.
Yeah, for the next 4 months at least. But Ken Fair, the president of Nerdcore, actually has it as well, and he said that he promised that he would be reading it in the next little while he's traveling around from city to city, he's shaking babies and kissing hands.
Yeah,
or
there you go.
was that the other way around? I'm not sure.
Well, that's cool. That's going forward. That's awesome.
It is. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. So the first one is the Grim Possession of Chesterfield Couch. The second one is the Grim Possession of William Nobody. And the third one, the working title, is the Grim Possession of Yumi Bakimono, which is a street girl from Japan, down on her luck, becomes imbued with the souls of all of these people that the Grimm has collected along the way.
Wow.
So she has superpowers, and everybody gets superpowers that are, so... And if anybody wants to join up to Fanbuilt and help me make a graphic novel, I would be very happy to.
Awesome.
Right? It's always a nice way to start a franchise.
Yeah. With as many roles, we'll go into a little bit of your career. With as many roles as you've done over the years, what is it that keeps you coming back to do voice when you could easily be a producer, a voice director, a writer. You've made Grim Possession. You've written that. So what keeps bringing you back to do voices when you could easily dovetail into other things?
Oh, I get very bored.
Well, there you go.
I
get bored.
I do. I get very bored. I could never just do one thing. I think I would lose my mind. Like, I have so many different fascinations in this world.
Mm-hmm.
I try to emulate the great art, like the Renaissance. And I when I was growing up, I always wanted to paint and write. I carve. I do all of these things, and I have produced, and I am producing. I am a writer of children's books and plays. I've written award-winning plays, and I'm not being braggy pants, but you asked the question.
I did ask the question. That's why I want people to know, because I don't think a lot of people know that you do these things.
Yeah, I love the arts. I support the arts. I've come in with my own money and helped to support theater.
Mm-hmm.
And it's why I started Fanbuilt, because I'm creating something that I wish that I had when I was young and had no money and nobody to help support me. Mm-hmm. So I love stage and screen, and I love writing, and I love poetry, and I love children's books, and I love I love voice acting, because it was one of my first loves was voice acting. And anything involving cartoons, I am so in, and anything involving expression,
cool.
I'm so very there.
Very cool.
I couldn't imagine a life led without the passion for doing multidisciplinary arts, because I get bored of doing one thing and then I want to do I have 3 or 4 projects going all the time.
Yeah. Well, I've got 2 or 3 or 4 songs I'm working on at any one time. I'm learning 3 songs on the bass, plus I'm doing the show, plus I'm trying to do acting. So I'm like,
yeah,
I'm there with you, buddy.
I heard you were a musician. I didn't know. I don't think I
you know what? I'm barely competent as a musician. I just picked up the bass a year and a half ago, and now I can actually start playing songs. So I was like, it's been a while. I'm not fast, but you know, I've started putting up videos of me playing bass on YouTube. You'll have to check them out.
Well, if anybody wants to see any of my paintings, I do have a couple. I have a painting. It's the production of a painting, and it's if you go into YouTube and type in Lee Tockar and then type in String Theory of the Gods, and it is a painting that I did dedicated to my late father after his passing, and it's very cush. It's very yeah, it's Vladimir Kush is one of my favorite surrealist painters, and I did this to sort of dedicate it to my father after he passed. But you'll see, and it's with the Newfoundland Symphony, a children's choir, children's symphony, and they did all the music for it. So I gave them credit on that, and yeah, so you can see sort of some of the yeah. Put the link up there.
I'll put the link in the YouTube upload of the show.
Oh my gosh, really? That would be excellent.
Absolutely, I will.
Absolutely. So yeah, so that's some of my painting style, and yeah, and you can also see what's the other one? Oh, Lee Tockar, Slumberstones. Type in Lee Tockar.
I love those things.
Slumberstones.
I love
and
those.
If you'll see how I carve. Yeah. It was the first. I filmed it on my iPhone, so it's not the best production, but I did. The music for it was from. Who was the backup singer? Oh, Ladysmith Black Moon Basso. Oh, okay. The backup singers for Paul Simon. Anyway,
those are fun people. Last question before we go on. How was it for you to come back to the herd, the Brony convention, after you've been away for so long?
Yeah, right? 3 years.
3 years you've been away. Las Pegasus Unicon might have been the last one I've seen you at.
Yeah, and that's when all the agents told me that I had to break the news to everybody. Yeah, I was the guy up there holding...
we worked on that together, but
I know.
It's been a while. How did it feel coming back to us?
Oh, it just felt like I was never gone. You know, I mean, it's been... for one thing, I mean, I work all the time, so I don't really have a lot of extra time. And I told Sherry Fowler, my agent, I said, look, we're just going to have to say no to a lot of these conventions now because literally I go to work in the morning, and then I go home and I rehearse for the next morning, going and produce and sort of performing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this back and forth cycle, and now I'm teaching at night as well. So I'm pulling in 13-hour days.
Right.
Sometimes, and it's very difficult and it's very hard. But I love the people at Everfree. You know, Austin has been an old friend of mine from way back, and I knew you were going to be there.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be so many people that were going to be there that I hadn't seen for such a long time, and it felt like I was with family again. It was really cool, actually. You know, and that might sound a little trite, and it might sound a little like, oh yeah, sure,
It was,
but
no,
it's true. It's
it was
really
honest.
true.
It was
It's
honest
true.
because we sat in the bar.
I know.
We sat in the bar
it was
together
so great to see you.
for I don't even know how long. I don't even
I
care
don't
how
know,
long.
5 hours, 6 hours.
I don't even care
know.
how long, honey. We sat there. I don't even care.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't know.
telling you.
But it was great. It was
great.
so great.
It was awesome.
And it just felt like, you know, I was coming home to family again. And that's what people ask me, what it is about the community. And I get a lot of people that are like, they don't understand.
No.
And I tell them the same thing that I've always said. It's like people that sort of feel on the fringe of society, or have their own things going on, or don't feel like they belong, or whatever their reasons are.
Right.
They feel like they have a sense of family when they are with, you know, when they come back to these conventions. And that's how I felt. So it was great. In short answer, felt really nice. It was good to see everybody again. And
It was great. It was great to see everybody.
and I'm going to be going, my next one that I'm going to, this one I wanted to go to, so there was no way I was going to say no to this. I've said no to many, but there's no way I was going to say no to this one. But the next one I'm going to is August 14th. I'm going to be going to the Brony cruise, so
Yes.
that should be
The
interesting.
Brony, West Coast Brony Cruise, absolutely.
Yeah. Now,
See
where does that
Bronies.
go? Something, I don't know where it goes. Baja to
Somewhere,
Santa Cruz.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a
exactly.
cruise, dang it. It's on a ship.
It's
Go.
a cruise. It's on the
Yeah,
water.
I wish I could go, but I work. But there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. They asked me, but I couldn't go because work. But
Dang it.
with that, what we're going to do is we're going to move on a little bit. I've got a new thing that we're going to do. So I'm going to pull up. I was sent a book by a publishing house, Skyhorse Publishing, that they wanted me to review. So here is the first book review that I've ever done. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. And
A
I'm
book
here for
review.
it?
Yes, you're here for it. So the book is called My Little Brony by K.M. Hayes. And this is the unofficial novel about finding the magic of friendship. They sent me this book just before Everfree Northwest, and I read the first half on the plane up. I read the second half on the plane back. So it's about 300 and something pages, but it's basically mid-teen. So basically 13 to 19, I would say.
Okay.
The way it's written. Now, it's the story of Drew, who is, you know, that 13-year-old loner kid who was basically bullied in middle school just before he went to high school. He's in Texas. The weird thing is that his dad is the football coach of a state championship football team in Texas. But he's not athletic. He's not. So he's tried football, got injured. His mom said, no way, we're done here. So his dad actually teaches a school an hour away instead of the local high school that he would normally go to. So his dad enrolls him in this school and takes him over there, tries to get his team members to get him into ninth grade football. He's sort of like underhandedly trying to get his kid back into football because I think that his dad doesn't think he's manly enough, maybe. I don't know. Just maybe. But so he's trying not to get bullied. He's in a new school, but everybody knows he's the coach's son. Of course, the coach being Famo because he's a state championship football coach. And all the troubles you would have by being the coach's son. But he meets a Pegasister. He meets a Pegasister, and that would be Skylar. Skylar's the Pegasister in this book, and she's unabashedly a lover of My Little Pony, excuse me. And doesn't take garbage from anybody. But later in this book, you find out that she really needs some help.
Hello?
Hello? Oh, did Lee go? Oh, we'll get Lee back in a minute. But the thing is, this book is well written. It tells
Hello?
a wonderful story. Hello? Still there? Hello? Oh, Lee's coming up and down, so we're going to get hellos every now and then. But the thing is, it's well written. tells a wonderful story of a nice young boy who has troubles in school like we all did at that age, and how he figures out how to be himself within the aspect of finding friends and helping those friends with their problems and having it all come together in the end. I feel it's a well-written book. It's well worth a read.
Hello?
Hello? Still there? Maybe? Weird. But I think it's a really well-made book. It's a well-written book. It doesn't leave any loose ends. You know, I'm not a PhD in English, so you're getting the biker story of reading a book. I liked it. I'll give it 4 out of 5 stars, only because some of the characters and some of the situations were so on the edge of the father's a state-winning football coach. The friend has this other friend has this, and it seems like all of those nth degree things in one story instead of having like one nth degree thing. It just felt a little bit forced on everybody has all these big problems. If a couple of them had problems, it might have been a little bit better. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I'll give it that. But I think it's worth a read and it's worth a look. And it's only $8.99 and it's coming out soon and should be at any of your Barnes & Noble or at Amazon. And if I do have a link for buying this book on Amazon, I will put it in the YouTube link. And when it does come out, I'll put it in the YouTube link later. Okay? So I like it. You should go pick it up and give it a read. So, and then give it to somebody else. Just maybe they'll turn them into a Brony too. So that is My Little Brony by K.M. Hayes. I like it. I might actually write up a thing and put on my website about it when I can put my thoughts together a little bit better than on live. But there you go. That is the Book Reviews with Dustykatt. Send me books, and we'll do some more. And we're back with Lee, I hope. Is he there? Lee.
Oh, here I am.
There you is.
Finally, I can hear you.
Yes, you were bouncing up and down there for a minute.
I don't know what the heck.
I don't know what the heck was going on there.
I know, and so I didn't get to hear the end of your book review.
That's okay. I liked it.
You liked it.
I liked it. The only thing I didn't like about it is that all the characters seem to be on the nth degree of having something wrong with them. Right? The father's the state-winning football coach. The mother is sort of having to fight with the father. The sister is unabashedly a fan of My Little Pony and argues with the son Drew, who's the main character of the book, all the time. The Pegasus sister is so out there that it's like unabashedly. There's another character whose parents are Christian fundamentalists in Texas. I happen to know all about that because one of the girls I dated was from Texas, who had the same type of parents. So everything was on the nth degree. If it wasn't so far out there to bring everything back in, it might have been a 5 out of 5. But I give it a 4 out of 5. Give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
There's just a couple.
Are you gonna? What's your rating? What's it gonna be? Because I know there's a local movie reviewer here, and his name is Thor, and he has 4 out of 5 hammers, like Thor's hammers. So what's your rating gonna be? Like 4 hooves? 4 hooves?
4 hooves. There we go. 4 hooves out of 5.
4 out of 5 hooves.
Well, actually, there
wouldn't be more than 4 hooves, so it would have to be 3 out of 4 hooves.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4 hooves.
3 out of 4 hooves. I give it that.
Okay.
I liked it. Give it a read. Some people might not like it because it's, teenage. It's 13 to 19. It's not going to be Ben-Hur, but I think it's worth a read. So.
Okay, cool.
That's what I feel. Let's go on to conventions. We still have tons of conventions coming up this year. Fiesta Equestria is coming up in Houston, Texas, June 26th to 28th. Guests are Little Sis MarineACU. Trevor Duvall is coming out from under his rock. Trevor Duvall is coming out. First time since LPU, he'll be at a convention. He'll be there. Brian and Brenna Drummond and Tom Sather from the comics will be there. Grand Brony Gala, July 10th and 12th, Tampa, Florida. John Delante, that'll be his next one this year. Daniel Ingram will be there. Claire and Ian Corlett. Dave Polsky from the comics, the writer. And many other fandom guests will be there. TrotCon, July 17th and 19th, Columbus, Ohio. Guests Kelly Sheridan, lots of equality will be there. Brian and Brenna Drummond again. M.A. Larson, that's another one for him. GM Barrow will be there. Stephen Andrews will be there. Heather Breckel from the comics, and of course more and more community guests will be there. Crystal Mountain PonyCon, Salt Lake City, Utah. Again, July 17th to 18th, so they're sort of competing with TrotCon. A lot of community guests at that one. Flim Flam Philosophy, Dr. Wolf, Super Cricky Dave, the Animator, Two Rad Cosplay will be there. Canalot Radio will be there. A lot of people. Pony South in France. We're from France.
Oh my God.
July 18th and 19th is going to be there. Again, more of a community guest type place. They're a fairly small con, just getting started. But if you're somewhere in the south of France, go check them out. July 18th and 19th. Lots more coming up. We'll go into July, the next show. We'll talk about that next show. But tons and tons and tons. BronyCon is still coming up. BronyCan is still coming up. You know, tons of huge places. If you want a pony, if you want to party, there's a place to do it. Go find it.
Yep.
It's out.
And of course, the Brony cruise that I'm going to be on.
Absolutely,
August
Brony
14th.
Cruise. We'll talk about Brony Cruise coming up next show.
I don't even know who else is going to be there, actually.
I don't know either. We'll
Well,
check that out.
it'll be exciting. Stay tuned for Dusty's next show.
For the next show. Let's go into charity work. Blue, who was our last guest, set it up for Second Harvest Food Bank, and we did $655 with Carradwin's Kick-In. So that was awesome. We cracked our $500 number. Thank you very much out there, everybody. You did awesome again. I love it. I love it. And we just cracked $62,000 for the entire run of our show so far.
What? That's amazing,
buddy, yeah.
Dusty.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool, bud.
$62,000.
Oh my God, I love it.
Love it.
Love your work, pal.
Thank
Love
you,
your
buddy.
work.
Thank you. So, giveaways. Everybody remember, we've got all of this wonderful stuff from Japan PonyCon, the breakdown chopsticks, the calendar, the tea towel, Japan PonyCon tea towel, and, of course, the lanyard, which nobody got outside of the convention. Then we also have this wonderful lunchy box, the Friendship is Magic lunchbox, full of all this swag that I've got hanging around the house. Look at all this swag in here. All the swag that is fit in this box goes to you. Not only that, because we bracked the $500, this rare signed Andy Price comic book right here also goes. So, Andy Price. And I get to give your name to Blue, and she's going to send you some tea. Her favorite tea, as a matter of fact, and how to brew it correctly. So, because she's like that. So, all of that stuff to the person whose name I take out of this hat right here. So, we're going to mix them up, mix them up, mix them up, mix them up. And this one right here. Who's this? Andre Simone. Or it's Simon, one or the other. Andre, Simone, or Simon, if you're in the chat room, you won. So, if you're there, send me your shipping material address to dusty@manlyasbrony.com, and I will ship all of this wonderful stuff off to you in a couple days. So that is our winner. Thank you very much.
Congratulations!
Congratulations! Yay!
Yay!
So, with that, we move forward. We go.
Before we go, before we move on,
Yes.
Dusty or Screwball,
Yes.
can you please send me the link so I can watch this episode sometime later? Because I have never actually seen your show. I've only heard it. No, I've only heard it as as an MP3. I've never actually seen the visual representation of the show.
Of course, I'll send you the link as soon as I put it up on YouTube.
And I was also asked another question, which I could not answer because I had never seen the show. I had only heard it as an MP3 or an MP4.
Yeah.
Do you keep past episodes in
Absolutely.
somewhere that they could find past the previous episodes?
We got a complete playlist on YouTube. Complete. All
Excellent.
except for episode 1, which got lost. Episode
Lost
1.
episode 1?
Lost episode 1. It's gone.
Okay, well, you know, I think you have you've got a hoof on pretty much every computer genius in the world. You could probably get somebody to find it.
Maybe. We've been trying. But yeah, every episode other than 1 is on my channel.
Can you send me the link on the Skype chat box here?
Actually, Screwball, you go ahead and do that because I'm actually live right now and I'm going to.
I know. I'm just throwing a monkey.
Screwball,
I'm throwing a monkey wrench.
throw that monkey wrench in there, and he's going to get that for you in just a second.
Anyway, please continue on.
We're continuing on with more charity work. Why? Because Lee is here.
Dun, dun, dun.
And Lee loves the Foundation for Fighting Blindness.
I do, yes.
And we all know that Lee's eyes have a degenerative thing going on.
Yeah,
And
macular degeneration.
Macular degeneration. So very wonderful. We did awesome for this charity last time. I want to do it again.
Cool.
Yes. Degenerative retinal disease is far too often just another way of saying you're going blind someday.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
There's nothing. There's nothing out there. So the Foundation for Blindness helps people deal with this, including Lee. So your donations go directly to people and families that have this disease and need some help. So go over to manlysbrony.com, click on the link. It says Your Donations link in the paragraph. Look for Your Donations. Click that. Go over to there. Make a donation. Anything. Anything at all.
Yeah.
$5,
tell you what,
$10, anything at all.
I'll tell you what. I will match whatever people donate today, but only today. Because I'm supporting all my staff
today. Today only.
At FanBuild. So
from
I have
now until midnight.
I have 8 staff. So if anybody wants to donate something today, I will match it. But I have 8 staff members for FanBuild, and they all need to get paid
matches 1 to 5. We kept $500. He matches $100.
There you go.
Lee, from now until midnight tonight, will match dollar for dollar.
I will match it dollar for dollar.
Dollar for dollar. Today only.
Yep.
Till midnight.
I promise you. And please check out FFB Canada.
Yes.
So and they have a Twitter handle which is FFB, and you can go to my Twitter as well. Oh, and by the way, I would like, because I make announcements like this to help support lots of different things. And I don't believe in using social media for just self-promotion. I believe in using it for good. Yep. So I've been trying to get 10,000 followers forever. And I'm sitting at 82 something, 8,200, and I never. Every time I tweet something, I lose another 5 people. What? I swear that I don't know. There's probably trolls out there, or just like bots. There's bots or something.
They go away.
But I want to try and
everybody out there, tell your friends. Lee Tockar is an awesome guy.
Yeah,
follow Lee Tockar.
And because I do a lot of good for charities and stuff, and I don't just say like, hey, this is what I'm eating this morning.
Yes.
And here's what my cat does,
Yep, we do the same thing around here. Lee does it. Let's support him. Everybody out there, get Lee.
I want 10,000.
10,000 people on Twitter. I have 15. I have 20,000 people following my butt.
Oh my God!
20,000.
Can I just have like 2,000?
You can have 2,000 of mine. That's it. Done.
Lee Tockar, look me up. I want 10,000 people. I've been waiting forever. Peter knew my drinking buddy. Peter knew.
Yes.
He's Yup Nope guy, and he's had 10,000 for a year and a half or something.
Come on.
Not fair.
Not fair at all. Not fair at all. So if you go over to,
he is very entertaining though. He does deserve it because he's silly. He's a silly man. But anyway, and I also support the Autism Society because. John Bailey Crompton, he's our marketing guy for FanBuilt, and he is the voice of Honest Trailers.
Okay.
I know I'm not speaking out of turn when I say that he has an autistic child. Amy Rainey, who is FanBuilt's artist in resident for FanBuilt in Australia, she has a severely autistic child. Seth is a lovely, lovely young man. So I do support the Autism Societies in whatever country you're in, and the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, the American National Institute for the Blind, Foundation for Fighting Blindness. These are the things that I care about, and I try to use my social media to promote that any way I can. So
absolutely, we've done autism a number of times on this show, and we always do that. Absolutely. Yeah. So if you go to manlysbrony.com, click on Your Donations, give us some money today. Actually, from now until whenever, but he'll match today. So.
These are the
things.
Will be the day that somebody donates $20,000.
Yeah, right. That ain't gonna happen. But there you go.
Rude.
So, if you in 2 weeks next show, we're gonna give away this pile of stuff over here. So I've got Twilight Sparkle Secret Ship Fic Folder stuff. I've got, of course, the Golden Gates. This is the BabsCon pack that was given out. I've got a GM Barrow card for the card fight game. So I've got that GM Barrow Fantasy Author card. So cards. That's the start. Number 2, I got this, which is a signed script sheet by Charlotte Fullerton. Signed. So this is a copy of My Little Pony, Episode 14, Dress for Failure, which is the working title of what? Suited for Success. Yes. Locked Polish, February 26, 2010. Says everybody who's in it, signed right there by Charlotte Fullerton. So I've only got a couple of these left, people. So those are going out a little bit every couple months. Number 3, hardcover, Journal of the Toon Sifters hardcover, right there. Amy Keating Rogers wrote this, and she's not writing for Pony anymore because she works at Disney now. So get them while they're hot. So that beautiful book right there. But not only that.
Amy works for Disney now?
She does. She just got hired at
great.
Disney. Absolutely.
Good for her.
Absolutely. Not only that.
She's another great woman.
Great woman. With a child who has problems that needs help. But we've helped them a lot, and we love them. Soren, you're awesome, buddy.
Yep.
Yep. Not only that, this book, which is G.M. Barrow's Princess Celestia book, signed by who? Nicole Oliver.
Oh.
Signed by Nicole Oliver. Give us some moonies. But not only that. Now how much would you pay? $5. That's all it takes. $5. Because if we break $500, I will actually donate my own Rainbow Dash backpack signed by Ashley Ball. Right there. To put all your books in that I'm giving you. So, we break $500. The backpack, the books, the cards, the script page, all of it. That's 3 signatures. Plus Amy Keating Rogers' book, because she's not working on Pony anymore. Plus the cards. Plus whatever else I can fit in this backpack. It might be a surprise. Who knows? So, go over to manlysbrony.com. Click the little link that says your donations. Give us a couple of bucks. And all that could be yours. In 2 weeks. Just like that. And you know what? I could probably get Lee to kick in a signature too. Probably could. So, we'll talk about that. Absolutely. And with that, Screwy! Screwy!
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, there he is.
Got it. Here I am.
As
I think it's just
you know
bad
what?
internet connection.
It probably is, because when you were gone, I actually signed you up for something.
Oh, what am I signed up for?
You were signed up for an autograph.
Sure. Okay. What do I have to do?
All you have to do is when we hit 500 bones, which we will, you just send me one of those pictures with your signature on it, so I can send it off to the winner.
Do you want me to mail it to you,
Yeah.
or do you want me to? Okay, yeah, I'd be happy to.
You mail it to me, and I mail it out to the winner.
Oh, I'd love it.
Done
That'd
deal.
be fine.
Done
I'd
deal.
be very, very happy to do that.
Sweet. So you get that too.
And these are lovely original artwork again done by our artist in residence, Amy Rainey.
There you go. So
Yeah.
you get 3, count them, 3 signatures, an Amy Keating Rogers book, the cards, all that stuff. Just for giving $5 to manlysbrony.com. You could be the winner. So, with that, we move on. Because I hear Screwball in the background.
With my mechanical
With his
keyboard.
Hi, buddy.
I'm doing pretty awesome.
I think your mechanical keyboard needs to become a character on this show.
What would we name him though? Tappy or something?
Tappy or Clicky, one of the Tappy the keyboard has come out.
Thunderous taps or
Thunderous tap. There you go.
Clicks. I don't know. It's this thing, and plus it's on this wood shelf, so it just booms. It's crazy.
It's awesome. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. It's a busy weekend.
Oh yeah, because it's like E3 is this weekend.
E3. Oh my goodness.
Gaming all the time. Wow.
Fallout 4 it just exploded the internet.
Yeah, I know. Fallout 4 is gonna be awesome. But,
I could talk about that for hours, but that's not what we're here to talk
That's not what
about.
we're here to talk about, my friend. We're here to talk about Lee Tockar and Fanbuilt and episode 100, and I'm sure people are going crazy in the chatty box with questions.
How have you guys been watching the forums or anything? Because I've been so busy.
Yeah.
How is it? What's the response been?
The response has been awesome.
Yeah?
Awesome. A couple of people are going, nah. But you know what? Over 80%, 90% of the people are just gushing over the whole thing.
Oh,
Gushing.
that's good.
Yep.
That's good. I'm really happy, and I'm happy. I was so honored to be part of that.
Yep.
The iconic episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Screwy, throw us some questions.
Okay, so this one is from RBZ. Question for you, Lee. How did you replicate Steve Magnet's voice so well after so many years?
Wow.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there's just a piece of him in me all the time. I never forget. I teach my kids this. Like, not my kids. I don't have any children of my own, but I teach classes, and I tell, no matter what age they are, I call them my kids. But I teach them the way to remember a voice is to have one catchphrase that you can drop into all the time at a moment's notice. So I just say the word fabulous, and I'm there, and it's there. I'm done. Yeah. Done. Oh no, actually, originally it was mustache. Yeah. Yes, my mustache.
Which I'm glad that you get to hear it again when he.
Yep.
I just love the callback when he uses the mustache for Cranky's wig. I loved it.
Hair. I know, for his mane.
That's awesome.
It was so awesome.
You know what? It's basically give it forward. Birdie gave it to you. You give it forward to Cranky.
Yep.
It's a good.
It's another
good
life lesson.
Yes.
Brought to you by My
right.
Pony.
Pray it forward.
Yes.
Oh, see what I did there? Oh.
Next.
Oh, so this one, I have to bring this one up because it's just posted to me, but I have to. From Waveform to all, what is your favorite moment from episode 100?
Ooh.
What was my favorite? Oh, I loved doing Steven, but there's something about doing an existentialist character, Gummy, that so plays off, like, it's just such the foil. It's the antithesis of the show. Everybody's so excited and loving, and then there's this little tiny alligator, this existential alligator. I just loved playing that as kind of a foil opposite the whole notion of this magical land, and then there's this existential little alligator there. I think that was. I mean, Steven is always going to be, I love playing him, but that I got a chance to play this little existential alligator, and he sounded just like me, but a little bit like, I don't know, wistful. I just loved that. There's something about doing that and being so raw in such a magical land. It was kind of,
I would have to say that's my most favorite part too. Like, it came out of nowhere, it came out of the blue, and as soon as it's like out of all the background quote unquote ponies, Gummy is by far the best. And getting to hear that he actually has a voice in that little head of his, because the character seems so blank and so out there, you don't think that he's even smart anywhere for him. But those powerful words of his just makes you rethink his character entirely. And now when you see him standing there, you're just thinking, what is this?
Exactly.
I think for me, there's a couple of really wonderful little things that they did. One, Octavia is actually British. She's got this Brit accent through the whole thing. And then, and in the first scene where you hear her talk, Apple Bloom says, maybe it's just a friendship problem, it'll go away in half an hour.
That was good.
That was
good.
It's like, what? That's hilarious. It's like the characters are like, oh yeah, we only have half an hour to do this show, so it must be done in half an hour.
I loved anything that involved Dr. Hooves.
Oh,
His voice
I was just gonna
is so
say,
amazing.
Peter New's
Peter just
characterization
nailed that
of
thing.
that. Oh my gosh.
He nailed
Alonze,
it.
I can't say right.
And then when Dr. Hooves is bowling, whoever did the animation, right? The dude says,
He does
you pick up the 7-10 split, man. And we
The
win.
hardest shot.
And the hardest shot. And he's got the ball in his hoof. He's tippy hoofing toward the throw the ball. It's like,
That's awesome. Yeah,
Well,
I love
also-
and hats off to the animators
Oh,
when
yeah.
he was trying to think of how to bowl.
Yeah.
And it showed all those
Yeah.
like super sophisticated things, and then the big equal sign, and then the big question mark. It's like,
And it turns
just throw
out-
it straight.
yeah, it turns out
That's actual math.
that's actual math.
That's actual math to bowling. It's the actual thing.
It's the actual
I'm
physics
just
of a ball curving. That's the actual physics.
No way.
Way.
No, you're blowing
Wait,
the head off of my shoulders right now.
Brony physicist or Brony physics or something is a guy who's actually on Twitter. He said, "Yeah, that's right. That's real math."
Holy dinosaur! That's crazy.
They do their homework.
They do their homework.
Oh, gotta love the DHX, man.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Next.
Let's see here. Sorry, I always don't prepare myself because I just get so into conversation. So this one's from Dirty Kitten for Lee. Thank you so much for liking my post on Facebook about you being my inspiration for my painting.
Oh my God! Hello to you. Oh my God, that was such. I woke up to that this morning or yesterday. It was like I woke up to that, and I was like, it was just the nicest thing. Keep going, please. I'm sorry,
yes.
Screwball.
So the question from Dirty Can is, what kind of paints, canvases, and brushes do you use?
Well, in Vancouver, I go to Opus on Granville Island, and I usually my painting style is acrylic. So I use acrylics, and I use sable brushes, and I have a spray bottle of water, so I can keep the acrylic a little bit more. You can maneuver it around a little bit longer because it dries so quickly on, and you can blend more. And I usually use a 4x4 canvas stretched on professional canvases, the museum grade, and. Yeah, and there's also what's the name of the other place on Granville and Broadway? Oh, forgive me, I can't remember, but there's another one. Oh no, they're gonna hate me.
I don't know locations either.
Yeah, but anyway, 4x4, 4 foot by 4 foot, sable brushes, acrylic, and artisan or yeah, like this. Yeah, acrylics.
Cool. Next.
Yeah. Next.
Aww.
And by the way, that was such a great post to wake up to know that I had inspired somebody to do that. Yeah. What better way to wake up?
Yep.
It is. So this is from Trailblaze to all. What are some of your faves 80s and 90s cartoon show theme songs?
Wow. Ooh.
Wow. That's an interesting one. 80s and 90s.
Well, you know what? One of the first ones I remember. Well, Sandy Frank had recut Science Ninja Team Gotchaman into Battle of the Planets. So I was a huge Battle of the Planets fan, and I remember the theme song vividly. So I'd say that one for Battle of the Planets. But there was a cartoon that Hanna-Barbera did called Devlin, which was about a motorcycle daredevil and his brother and his sister traveling around the country in a van doing stunts for a show. And Mickey Dolenz actually played the brother in that.
Oh.
And I remember that theme song fairly vividly too. So I think those two.
As much as I'm trying to recall them, all I'm coming up with is the theme show to the theme song to the Muppets.
Oh, there you go.
And once that's in your head, you can't get it up.
Sorry.
It's time to dress up right. It's time to get things started on the Muppet Show tonight.
Bum, 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 bum.
So now that that's in my head, I can't think of anything else. I'm sorry. I'm screwed now. I got nothing.
Yay, I did it. Next.
Actually from Dirty Ken, he also wants to ask if Lee, if you'd be able to sign an acrylic piece of his for a charity auction at some point.
Yes, I could. I have prints made of my stuff. I mean, it's really hard to. I don't have a lot of wall space.
No. He wants you to sign his work.
Oh, what? Yes, of course. I would be honored.
Yes.
But how do I do that? I mean, wherever.
You'd have to mail it to you.
Probably have to mail it to you. I'm guessing.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Like, how big of an acrylic piece is it? Like, my
honestly, they're usually an 8x10, sometimes smaller, 11x14. Like,
okay.
They're roughly that size. I follow him on Facebook, and I've seen his work, and I know they're roughly that size. But I don't know exactly what piece it is that he has, how big it is. But
Screwball, you're in town now, so I'm gonna leave this to you, and you, if you don't mind,
personal assistant. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I could get him to mail it to me, and I can get it to you.
That would be great, Screwball. Thank you so much.
See how that works? Awesome.
Yeah.
You know what, Lee? We're running late, but we're having lots of fun.
Well, I'm having lots of fun too.
You want to stick around a little longer than the
I don't
usual
mind.
hour and a half?
Sure.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. Awesome.
Let's keep going. I don't mind. I'm enjoying this. I don't get a chance to be on your show very much.
Cool. We're gonna go long today, guys.
Dun dun dun.
Keep them coming.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh man, I'm so out of it at the moment. So this one's from goody. So this one is from Sombra. I'm not kidding. That's actually the name. And the question to you, Lee, is how excited were you when you heard that Stephen Magnet was coming back?
Oh man, I was so excited because I love the character. I'm for some reason I'm not going to be the one to like out Stephen, but I have a lot of like LBGT friends, and they just surround. They're in my life because I've just grown up around an open and very liberal-minded artistic crowd, and so I don't know, and I won't be the one to say that Stephen is like that fabulous, but to know that I can be a representation. I mean, he is obviously very fabulous.
He is.
And to know that I could be called back for that and to represent a little bit, kind of made me feel a little bit special. It felt like I was good, like I was doing something good.
Awesome.
And he's just a fun character to play. Like, how can you not love somebody who's that fabulous? Fabulous!
Yes.
He's amazing. So I was very, very, yeah.
Okay, there was one part. Now, how do I even begin? Because everyone takes it in different strides.
Yeah.
Like, it's implied, but it isn't. But there was a part where it's like, oh, Cranky didn't tell everyone that I am, and then he paused for a second.
Yes, I know, and then
he says the sea serpent. And I'm just like...
a sea serpent.
What?
I know. Well, that was deliberate. That was something that was deliberately done. And I definitely, when I saw the writing, I definitely had to play that pause.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wanted it to be understood that it's understood or implied, but not really known. Because there's no reason to, I don't, I don't want to out anybody.
No.
Even Stephen. Even Stephen.
I'm trying to figure out where the closet is in the lake. It doesn't have a closet. It doesn't have a closet.
I see.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll bring on the next one. Since we're bringing on Stephen Magnet here, this is from Claire Cobra. Do you think Stephen Magnet should get a mini-series about his adventures in the past?
Yes, we talked about that.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about that at Everfree Northwest 3 years ago.
Well, I mean, it is all up to Hasbro powers that be, but I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly could. I smell a spinoff.
I smell a spinoff. I smell a spinoff.
I smell a spinoff.
Yes.
He could be like a detective or something.
Yes, detective. Well, you know what? No, I've got it. You remember how Bon?
Esthetician.
You remember how Bon was actually part of Celestia's secret monster patrol, right? Stephen is also part of Celestia's secret service. He wears a badge.
Ooh.
He's a secret agent. Because he's a sea serpent, he can go to any country he wants to, because he just has to swim there.
That's right. To the underwater interconnecting tunnels.
Absolutely.
I'm from Kelowna in BC here, and it's the city of the Ogopogo.
Yes.
And I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but they say
Ogopogo.
Yes,
the Ogopogo monster.
The Ogopogo monster, and there has been sightings, and this Ogopogo. Some people say that it's like a very, very large sturgeon, or that it's a grouping of sturgeons. But there's been some photographic evidence of this sea serpent that lives in Kelowna, in the waters, and there's certain areas in Okanagan Lake that have yet to be. The bottom has not been found because it's all silt. There is also caves that go underneath the city of Kelowna proper, underwater caves. And there was, back when I was a young lad, stories that these underwater caves extend for miles and miles and miles and miles, and that it could be possible that the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland and the Ogopogo are one and the same. So
amazing.
Speaking of sea serpents.
Speaking of sea serpents and histories.
Yes.
See that? I just wrote an entire series for Stephen Magnet like that.
Okay, well, hey,
Done.
let's get some fanfic.
Let's get some fanfics. Let's get some fan built going.
I want some Stephen Magnet fanfic. That's what I want.
There you go.
And if everybody has something that's good, I'll throw my voice around it.
There you go.
Yep. Don't make it too dialogue
no.
heavy. We just want it to be, you know.
1,000 words, 1,200 words.
There you go.
That's it. Short story. Short story.
Short story. And then we'll get some of the artists to draw some different profiles. And then you can all come on to Fanbuilt and you can show it off and we'll make something together and we'll throw it back out into the world. And I'll let Stephen Magnet's voice to it. Absolutely. If I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed.
If you're allowed.
If the gods at Hasbro say that it's okay.
Next.
Oh, so this one is from Snowblitz. As an artist, for you, Lee, as an artist, what helps you think clearly or give you inspiration?
Wow, those are two very different questions. What helps me think clearly is a good night's sleep. What was the second part?
What gives you inspiration?
What gives me inspiration? Neil Gaiman for writing. Vladimir Kush for painting. Watching the Civilization series with Kenneth Clark. Seeing new artists, you know, going to art galleries that are showing new artists and watching how excited they are.
Cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. This one's to you, Dusty.
Oh, okay.
From Fleur Cobra. As a fan of wrestling, how do you feel about the loss of the wrestler Dusty Rhodes?
Oh, right.
Horrible.
That was just a couple days ago.
Horrible. I had like at least 6 people Twitter me going, "Are you dead?" It's like, no, not me.
Wrong Dusty.
Wrong Dusty. I never got a chance to meet the man. I wish I had, but when I was in Tulsa doing my thing, he didn't come around that territory. But wonderful man from what I saw of him on TV, because I was a fan of him back in the 70s. Really understood theatrics, because wrestling is theatrical. It's basically a play, you know, done in the middle of a stunt show. So you're trying to tell a story within, you know, the squared circle plus outside of it. He was one of the very first guys that really knew how to work a mic, how to tell a story, how to set up a match 6 months down the road. Watching him and Ric Flair work the microphone against each other on top of working in the ring. Oh my God. Some of the guys working today could learn something. But
when I was a little boy, I used to watch wrestling with my grandpa. He was a very large man. He was actually nominated there was these competitions. He was a prairie boy up in Canada, and he was one of the 2 strongest men and toughest men in Manitoba, Saskatchewan. He used to take a quarter, which is like 25-cent piece in Canada, and make a hacksaw nick in one side of it, and with his bare hands peel it in half, one side and another side down to the middle, and peel it in half. They called him Mitts. I used to sit on his lap, and he loved a character. We used to have something in Canada here called All-Star Wrestling, and there was a character called Gene Kiniski.
Yeah, I know that character.
You know him?
Yeah.
So I love Gene Kiniski, and that's like throwing back. Like Dusty Rhodes goes back.
Same era.
The same sort of era. So when I think of him, I think of Gene Kiniski, and I think of I'm sitting on my grandpa's huge lap, and he was like a big, you know, he's a great, big, tough farmer guy, but he always wore a nicely pressed white shirt and a brush cut. So it was like, he just kind of reminded me of Gene Kiniski. So yeah, cool. Dusty Rhodes was a great wrestler.
He was a great wrestler. He took a lot of people under his wing and taught them a lot. You know, he was one of those older wrestlers that really loved the business. It wasn't about him. It was about the business. And he made sure that when the guys who worked in his territory got his learning, got his teachings. Very, very wonderful man.
Hey, speaking of tough,
yeah,
that last charity auction that we were at there, I want to thank you for loosening up that gavel for me.
Oh yeah, I loosened it up for you.
That gavel was tough, man.
That gavel was tough. If nobody saw it.
I had to dig deep into my Shaolin training. Like, I had to follow through to the floor to break that.
I thought you were going to cut your forehead on the table. I thought.
No, I knew what I was doing. I had to follow through to the floor, just like my Shaolin training.
If anybody missed it, the charity auction at Everfree Northwest was off the chain. The last half an hour. If it's already up on YouTube, watch the last half an hour, because between Lee, myself, Pony Toast, and Nicole Oliver, basically. It was a laugh riot. It was a laugh riot. And on top of that, we had this gavel, right? And the whole freaking thing, I'm trying to break it, and I couldn't break it, and we're just half, trying. If I hit it really hard, see if it breaks. It just wouldn't. So Lee shows up with Nicole, and Ingrid shows up, and I said, Lee, you're going to hit this thing, and I whispered in his ear, break it. And he's like, looks at me like, what? Break it. Okay. So every time we sold something, he whacked that thing as hard as he freaking could, and sure enough, on the very last thing that we sold, it exploded. And
the second to last one, actually, the metal around the ring that held it together, it bent a little bit.
Bent a little bit.
And I was like, okay, I think I got this.
It's gonna go.
But man, I tell you, like 3 tries, that
tries of smacking that thing hard. And
oh my god! And I couldn't believe that you didn't do it. Like, looking at me standing next to you. Anybody would think, well, it's obviously Dusty's going to be the one to break it, but I had to dig deep into my Shaolin.
As soon as that thing busted, the crowd exploded with joy.
It broke into 4 pieces. I broke it into 4 pieces.
I signed it. Lee signed it. We sold it for $500.
Was that how much?
$500.
$500.
$500.
That's amazing.
Crazy.
What was their final tally?
23 or 26.
It was 20 plus for sure.
26, I think, that we finally, after the silent auction stuff. So
and that was for the Seattle Children's Hospital.
Seattle Children's Hospital.
Really great.
Awesome people, awesome stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I was feeling like the weakest pony there. I had to hit it with everything I had. Yeah.
Oh, wait! I got some weak signal. It's getting stronger. Let me tweak something here. Yes, I've got Joe Stevens on the line. Joe Stevens, the mirror is open to Ponyville. Joe Stevens, EQI, the straight dope from the desk in Ponyville from Joe Stevens is now.
Thank you, Dustykatt. This just in. Other ponies besides Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, Applejack, and Rarity Leibowitz have actual lives. This came as quite a shock to most ponies, who thought that all of Equestria centered on the activities of these 6 ponies and the relatively few other ponies, Draconici, and Burning Ducks they interacted with. Bon Bon was seen buying a gallon of milk, and she wasn't doing it for Pinkie Pie. Lyra was seen sweeping her floor, and she wasn't doing it because Rainbow Dash crashed into her house. Even Davenport was seen selling a quill to Octavia, and she wasn't going to give it to Twilight so she could write her manifesto that she'll spread across Equestria when she takes over the planet. She used a typewriter. It's called You Will Be My Friend, coming out in paperback and mandatory brain siphoning pending Twilight's Coup, audiobook sold separately. In fact, none of the 6 ponies Equestria seems to revolve around were so much as mentioned all day. It was just a Tuesday, and yes, Rainbow Dash sent a tornado to destroy Bon Bon's house, but it's Tornado Tuesday. It's normal. Who cares? Reporters went to speak with Barry Punch and were surprised to learn that she can talk. Junebug was discovered alive. Buttons was discovered dead, but not from Rainbow Dash's tornado. Kettlecorn made biscuits. Fanny Foo apologized for her name. And Gravy Gary is not a name we made up. Gary's a cool guy. He shared his gravy with Kettlecorn for his biscuits. It turns out there are tens, possibly hundreds of ponies with hopes and dreams, full-fledged existences. Who knew? Even Derpy Hooves came out and told everyone her name was Sally. Our reporters were fascinated by the stories, the rich lives that all these ponies live, the fullness of the world when we look at each individual pony as worth acknowledging. Sally Hooves has a PhD in chemical engineering and had to get a job as a mail pony to pay her student loans, and is now a scientist at a pharmaceutical company trying to cure astigmatism. She quotes, I have a full life and wish ponies would acknowledge... the quote ends there. Apparently our reporter heard Rarity say the word darling and rushed over to see what she and Fluttershy were doing, completely ignoring the rest of what What's-Her-Hooves had to say. I'm Joe Stevens, and this has been a news brief from the Equestrian Inquirer. Back to you, Dustykatt.
And we're back. Amazing. Amazing that the background ponies have all this, that even now, it's like we have the, what we made here, but Joe's actually in Ponyville, and it's the same thing. The ponies actually have lives there. Who knew Derby Hooves had a PhD? No? Who knew?
Right?
I think the doctor helps with her
And her
homework.
name is Sally. It's weird. But amazing. But that's Joe Stevens, and I'm going to bring up right now Joe Stevens himself. His real name is David Hammonds, and Dave actually has gotten his very first novel approved. It's coming out soon. It is Alice Takes Back Wonderland.
Oh my gosh.
Coming out.
Oh man.
Yes. That is coming out soon.
Oh man, it's been
Yes.
so long. Oh,
We've
I'm
been
so
talking
excited.
about that thing for a while.
Long
September
time.
28th.
Yes.
It's going to drop. Pick that up. He's been working on it forever. Congratulations, Dave. Love ya. Way to go, buddy.
I definitely gotta grab that.
Absolutely. Way to go.
Like it's an actual, yeah, right
Yes.
on. But it's an
There you
actually, he's got a
It's a
publisher and it's going to be out in
Publisher,
stores?
it's coming out September 28th. Alice Takes Back Wonderland.
In stores.
In stores.
That's amazing.
Yep. It's amazing.
Super
Good
duper
job,
cool.
dude. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. And we're back with the man himself, Lee, for a little bit longer. So let's talk a bit more
still
about it.
happy.
Yep.
Okay, so this is from Wavefront to you, Lee. Do you have a favorite microphone, and if so, what is it?
It is the 416 Sennheiser shotgun mic. I love it.
Shotgun mic, I like that.
Yeah, it's a shotgun microphone by Sennheiser. It's the 416, and it is amazing. It makes me sound very nice. Oh, and here's my Morgan Freeman. I have been practicing Morgan Freeman. All I can say is Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Nice.
Visa, we'll take you to the front of the line and leave you there.
Oh my god.
I just got an AKG 214. myself.
Oh, nice. Those are nice.
Yeah, so
I
that's
like,
what I'm
and of
using
course, you know, there's a lot of really nice. But for my travel mic, it's the Apogee, the little tiny Apogee. It's like 3 inches by an inch and a half. It's a little tiny condenser mic, USB port into your computer or iPhone. Those are beautiful. I love them for portability. I love them for sound. For quick and dirty on the road stuff, it's always the Apogee. For in studio stuff, it's if it's not a Neumann in the studios that I work at, it's the 416 Sennheiser shotgun.
Cool.
It's a long time name. Shaka.
Shotgun.
So this one is from Trailblaze to Lee. What is it like when you get to play off Richard Ian Cox in the when you're playing as Snips and Snails?
Oh, well, Trailblaze, let me tell you something. He is one of the funniest people I know. I know in my life I have known.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Did we drop him again?
Yeah, it just did.
call. Skype. I hate you. You messed up the beginning, and now you're messing up the middle of the show. Stop it.
Figures, right?
I know. Get him back, Screwy.
Here, one sec. Okay.
There we are.
There we are.
There we go.
Sorry about that.
That's
I don't
okay.
know what's happening. In my life, I've known only a handful of people that make me laugh out loud all the time. He is definitely one of those people, and we work together on several shows, and have in the past as well. He's a great person, it's great to work with him because he gets it. He gets comedy, like he understands timing, and he's going to be working on a cartoon that I'm putting together through Fanbuilt called Old Man Sandwich. And we play brothers. He plays. We're not sure which one. There's going to be Mr. Old Man Ham Sandwich and Old Man Reuben Sandwich. So Ham and Reuben, and they just sit on their porch and insult people as they pass by. But he is so funny. We banter between. We're on a show called Super Noobs, and he and me and Tabitha St. Germain. We're on one end of the studio, and we just, in between takes, we just talk nonsense out of our mouth holes until we crack each other up. It's just the most ridiculous things. And we just sit and we start talking like this, and we'll just talk like this for about an hour, 2 hours, and we're just like, and also Tabitha and myself and Richard Ian Cox, we're the only ones in, I think, Vancouver who can do a really good, South African accent as well, yeah. Oh. So we'll sit and we'll banter back and forth in Afrikaans or whatever, hey. So we just talk like nonsense out of our mouth holes, until one of us cracks up, and then we know we got 1 point.
That's perfect.
So whoever makes the other ones crack up first, then we know that we won. Hey, that round, eh?
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's great working with Richard.
Nice.
Richard Ian Cox, Tabitha St. Germain, Brian Drummond. Like in terms of actually Tabitha and Richard are two of the funniest people, and Peter New, he's funny as well. Actually, and Peter Kalamas is very funny as well. But I work mostly with Richard and Tabitha mostly. So the two of them, as far pound for pound, they crack me up the most. Ooh. And I don't know why, but they just get it. They get comedy, they get timing, they get funny. They just get funny, and they don't care what they. I think it's because they just don't care. Yeah, they just.
I think that's what you got to have as a comedian. I mean, you're gonna bomb sometimes. You just have to not care.
Yeah, they're just
keep going.
They're just so darn silly.
Oh yeah,
and everything is for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys are the fun. So working with Richard Trailblazer is great. He's wonderful. And when he and I auditioned for Snips and Snails, they didn't know which one was going to be which. Mm-hmm. So it was the luck of the draw. I could have been Snails, but I'm Snips. So, but we're kind of interchangeable. Good question.
Next.
I'm doing a lot of typing now. So this is actually pretty relevant to this too. From Pony45131, to you, Lee. What is your most what is the most funniest moment in acting or in show that has ever happened?
I don't know.
He's thought of something, obviously, because he's laughing.
Okay, a couple of weeks ago, I was working with Michael Dobson, and we had this thing. I don't know how or where it came from. It was so ridiculous. It's not the funniest thing, but it strikes me now as being something somewhat funny, and I'll be paraphrasing, but something to the effect of, we were pretending to be somebody being an actor who couldn't hear themselves, and we're talking like this. I'm sorry, I can't hear what I'm saying right now. No, what? No, I can't hear me right now. Can I speak up, please? You're going to have to talk louder. I can't hear me. I don't know why. It was just like this absurdist moment.
That's funny.
And it's not the funniest moment that's ever happened. There's been some ridiculous things. I know that when you get a bunch of talk monkeys, like we all get into it, and sometimes I know that there's been a time where I've been laughing so hard over the last 25 years. I know there's been a couple times where I may have laughed so hard that I peed a little. It happens. These are things that happen. Hey, these are things that happen. It all depends.
Yes.
I see what I did there.
See what you did there, yeah. But you know where we're at.
Not my best work. Not my best work.
You know where we're at.
Oh.
We're at the end of the program.
Boo. Stop it.
You're gonna end the program on me making a depends joke?
Well, no, we're not actually, because the very last question is the one you ask me and Screwy.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. I guess the question that's on all of our minds, what we're all really wondering, like once we log off and have our moments alone in our homes and reflect upon all the brilliance that has been these interviews, these gifts you have collectively given to the world, as it were. I guess, what's next? How long will it go on is really what we want to know. Is there a goal? Are you going to go to networks? I mean, are you going to accept bribes from mafias? Are you going to become broadcasters of your own? I mean, Yes.
There's a 3-year plan for the show, and I'm really hoping that more awesome content that we put out, sort of like we bring in Tockar, that guy, he's such a wonderful person, a wonderful interview, That if I get more content like that, then somebody at Netflix would actually watch my show, because it does have its own IMDb page of all things, I just found out.
Oh, my God, does it?
Yes, it does. So I was thinking that maybe somebody over at Netflix would actually see our show and maybe just say, I love the concept. If we just had a live band, and we had you in a studio with maybe a desk and a window in the back with Canterlot behind it, sort of something like a David Letterman thing. Something like that.
So I guess
if we did
that's
something
where
like that late night.
So if we throw it open to the fans now, let's throw it open to the fans. Yeah. So if you or someone you know, maybe you're the nephew of some executive or some mogul at Netflix, put the word in. Buy them a cup of cappuccino and just, catch them in a good mood and mention the names Dustykatt and Screwball and, and maybe, just maybe, all of our pony dreams will come true.
Absolutely. That's and that is it.
Actually, there's one thing. I just got news. I just got news that we got our own Internet Movie Database.
We do.
For Stay Brony, my friends.
Yes,
that's
Oh
hilarious.
my gosh! What's your status?
Oh my God!
Status is live. It's in production.
I know, but we want to know what the number is so that we can keep. I think you guys should keep updating your status.
Oh, I need to now. I just found out about it. Now I have to go in and make it look pretty.
No. Just what's your number? What's your status number?
Oh.
Like, are you at 1,500,000? Are you at 7,600? Are you?
I have no idea what my status number is. Screwy, look at it.
You just go into IMDb. Screwball, come on, you're really techno savvy. We're going to stay on the line. We're going to stay on the line till we find out. And every show, you should, we're going to keep dropping those numbers until you're down to number 6.
How do I get the numbers? I don't even know. Is it the rating thing?
Yeah,
it's the rating.
Yeah.
It's currently at 0 because it just got made, I think.
I didn't make it. I don't know who did.
No. Well, see, if it was at 0, then that would mean that you're the most famous person in the world.
Oh
my God!
Like Brad Pitt is number 6 or something, and Johnny Depp is at number 3, and there's like millions of people. So like, if you're just starting out, you'd be like at 7,855,000.
Well, you know what? We'll figure it out, and I'll put it in the link in the YouTube.
But you know what's really weird is that it says credited cast, Dusty and me, but then it says rest of cast listed alphabetically, and it says all this staff and everyone of My Little Pony.
Wow!
It's got
they work with us.
Yeah. So it's all you guys. Crazy.
Okay, and just before I sign off with you guys, I just want to say thank you so much for having me back on the show.
Absolutely.
It's been great and again, it's an honor to be part of the 100th episode. Obviously, thank you for anybody that's taken an interest in FanBuilt. Please sign up if you're not already. Please follow me on Twitter, Tockar, if you're not already, because I want to get 10,000 people so that I can start making big announcements for our show.
Yes.
And I just want to thank you again, Dusty and Screwball. Thank you. It was great to see you, Dusty, again. And Screwball, I'll probably see you on Thursday.
Oh yes,
because you're in Vancouver here, and always great to hang with you.
Yep. With that,
so thank you again.
With that, we're going to talk about our sponsor, Little's Toy Company. If you need any Funko, if you need anything My Little Pony, go to Little's Toy Company on the web and check them out. The sponsor. Absolutely. Yep. So with that, we are just about out of here. I want to thank Lee, of course, Screwy, Amy, my wonderful girlfriend, Lance Bubala, Care to Win, Bash Script, everybody over at Canalot Hill for doing everything they do to keep this thing running. And of course, you out there who come and watch us make dang fools of ourselves every time we turn on camera. Every time. Next guest, Screwy, take a guess.
I really don't know.
The manly man of muscle and beats himself, DJ Tetsuo the Robot.
Oh, nice.
We'll be here to talk Brony music, talking beats, talking muscle. We're going to talk arm wrestling, maybe. But that's next show in 2 weeks. Come and find us, Canalot Hill. This show will be up on YouTube real soon. We love you out there. With that, we're gone.
Thanks, Dusty. Thanks, Screwball.
Thank
you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.